Hey everyone, this podcast is part of Story Mode, the podcast network of Gamefully Unemployed. You can support us and gain access to other great exclusive podcasts at patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. That's patreon.com/GAMEFULLY unemployed, which is spelled like it sounds.
Hello, everybody.
Hey everyone.
My name is David Bell,
I'm Tom Ryman.
and we just watched Velvet Buzzsaw.
Buzzsaw is ready.
Nice.
That was terrible. That's a terrible Macho Man. What are you doing up there? That was better.
There is some sort of power. Some spirit. It's connected to his art. Something truly goddamn strange is going on!
Okay, how do we start? Because I have something to say about the name itself.
Velvet Buzzsaw? We'll lay it on me.
Well, when I first heard the name, I was like, that sounds like a punk band. And then...
It is.
It is. And then it was the whole journey of like, so why is it called that? And the reason is delightful. So how did you like this?
Oh, I loved it.
Me too.
I thought this was a fucking fantastic film. And what struck me, I figured it out about maybe 25 minutes until the end of the movie. I was like, oh, this is like a companion piece to Nightcrawler, because Nightcrawler is about like the low class garbage of LA, and this movie is about the high class garbage of LA.
Yeah, that's a good way of thinking of it. I didn't even think about that.
Because everyone in this movie is garbage except for the artists, and I think that's important.
Yeah, they're all garbage, but they were very entertaining to watch. I've had that problem where, like, a movie, I don't like any of the characters, and therefore I don't care. And I didn't really get that from this, and maybe it was just because it was a compelling enough plot.
Yeah.
As a horror movie, I'm going to say I wasn't very scared.
It's not really a horror. It feels almost like a satire.
Yeah, well, it felt like almost like a episode of The Twilight Zone or something. But yeah, also very satirical.
That's the word.
There we go. Nailed it. Yeah, holy shit. I liked everybody in this.
Yeah,
God,
for sure.
I'm trying to think of where to begin with this movie. Well, first of all, it's on Netflix. This is our second streaming Netflix movie that we've done this last couple of weeks, mostly because there's nothing in theaters, but also because this movie just looked really awesome.
Oh yeah. We were stoked to watch this movie. That is about the only thing it has in common with IO.
Yeah, I was about to say this really redeemed IO.
For sure.
Everybody go probably see this movie before listening to this, because there's going to be some spoilers. It's not a twisty movie, but it's fun in the way of like things happen where you're just like, oh, that's great, or oh, I didn't expect that.
There are things to spoil. So
yeah. Oh man.
So yeah, I think this movie starts in a gallery opening where everybody is just like a caricature of like high society.
Yes. Oh, sorry. Just real quick, when you said everybody is terrible except the artists, I would also argue poor Coco.
Oh, yeah.
My favorite character.
Her only I had that thought entered my head when she finds the last body. I was like, all she's done is find bodies.
Because she's constantly talking about like, I have to move home if this doesn't work out, and all her employers keep dying.
Yeah, it's like all she's doing in the movie is discovering bodies. Yeah, and I think when she finds the last one, she screams again. Then she's like, "Come the fuck on!" Yeah,
that was fantastic.
Yeah.
So yeah, the like you were saying, it starts at like high society.
Mm-hmm. It's everybody
and convention.
It's an art gallery. In the Miami Convention Center in Miami, and it's where we are introduced to pretty much all the main characters. And most of them, you have Jake Gyllenhaal, who's an art critic named Morph.
Yeah, it's great. He does a great job in this, too.
Oh, he's great. He's great. We have Rene Russo, who is the head of a one gallery. We have Toni Collette, who's at a museum, the main museum in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
The name
and
of
Russo
which is escaping me.
Russo, this is where we get the title from. She is an ex-punk rock singer, I think, or like part of a band called Velvet Buzzsaw.
She was in a punk rock band, called Velvet Buzzsaw.
Yeah, and she has a Velvet Buzzsaw tattoo. I liked how they did all the like old punk tattoos on her that you sort of slowly see throughout the movie.
Yeah, like she has her bandmates the day she died, like tattooed on her arm.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And
that's like sort of, we learn that that's like when she sort of stopped believing in art and just and that's kind of the point of this movie, is all of the main cast of characters are just a bunch of vultures who don't actually appreciate art and don't care about it really. It's just
they're incredibly cynical.
Yeah, and they're just in it to make money. They don't care about it. It doesn't mean anything to them.
Jake Gyllenhaal, as a critic, like he criticizes things almost like purely like in terms of aesthetics and style, and not like what it actually means. You know,
he never comments on what it means.
Yeah, and that's what makes it's so great, because that's all he's thinking about.
Yeah, is how it. There's a good moment later when he goes into Josephine's apartment. Josephine,
the same thing.
Yeah, when he says this couch is too short for this room, it's swimming in here. Like that's the only thing he noticed.
Right, and that's what it is. He's not an art critic. He's like an interior decorator more.
Well,
like he's thinking about everything in terms of what looks good.
He's not a deep thinker.
Yeah, he thinks of art as a decoration in your house. Like that's it.
Yeah,
and they all sort of do. They're selling expensive decorations.
Yeah, for Josephine and Toni Collette's character Gretchen, it's a commodity, and it's a commodity for Rene Russo too. But she's more of she's like, her character's hard to classify actually.
Yeah,
because she is jaded, and she does view art as a commodity, and she flat out says that she doesn't care about art and doesn't think it has any value anymore. But
she's nice to John Malkovich when the time.
It's funny that I love John Malkovich in this movie, and you're right.
Great.
She does have like a tender moment with John Malkovich.
Yeah,
like
it's her moment is basically like, look, don't kill yourself over this.
Yeah, because it's not worth it.
Yeah,
you know, she actually gives him the one honest piece of advice that she says in the movie. She's like, go away to, use my beach house, take some time until you start making things for you again, start making things for yourself again and not for everybody else.
Yeah.
Both John Malkovich and the other artist, what was his name? Raheem?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Or I forget his name.
Names.
It's David Diggs plays him. I forgot his character's name. But they're both go ahead.
I was about to say he's a little bit of a dick, but he's not actually.
Not really.
Not really. The stuff with Gyllenhaal.
Yeah,
he
Gyllenhaal
explains it. He's like, I thought you guys weren't together. And,
Gyllenhaal's such a pompous ass in that scene.
Oh yeah,
where he's like, anything I felt for your piece is evaporated.
Yeah, so great.
He's so fucking good in this.
It's so good.
Okay, so we should probably get to like what this movie's about.
Right. Well, no, here's the thing, because
we are talking about what it's
that's
about,
the big thing, is the trailer to this movie is like, oh, evil paintings. But you don't actually you spend like the first half hour, I don't think anything happens for that. It's a horror movie, but I don't want to call it a slow burn, because before the evil painting stuff, I was perfectly happy in this world, like watching what was happening.
Right.
And that's what it is that it starts just kind of spending a lot of time in the lives of these people, the love lives and their careers and stuff.
Yeah, how they, like, Josephine is an assistant working for Rene Russo, that she's a grasper, She really wants to move up.
Right.
We have a nice small role by Billy Magnuson, I think is his name, from Game Night, who plays the installation guy, Bryson, who's just like a big tool.
Yes. Nice big tool.
A nice big tool.
They did a good job. They knew how to make him a tool. They just kept ear pods in his ears at all time.
Oh, they gave him a sleeveless denim vest, too.
Yeah, that's it.
Sleeveless denim jacket.
It was one of those things where they dress him up in a way where the moment you see him, you're like, oh, look at that tool.
Yeah, it was that, and he had a little bit of chin stubble. So you're like, that guy's a chode.
Fuck this guy.
I can see that chode from miles away.
Yeah. It's a high visibility chode.
Yeah, that chode sparkles in the sun like a diamond.
Yeah.
I think that's all the main characters. So we have Malkovich, who's an artist named Pierce.
Yeah, this is almost an ensemble, kind of the way a lot of slasher horror movies are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Gyllenhaal's not the main character at all, even though he's top billed.
Yeah, this is very much the, I would say the pattern is very much like a slasher movie or a regular horror movie where it's just like, it starts slow, but there's some deaths near the beginning, and then it ramps up, and then the ensemble starts slowly dropping. And then, and this is going straight to spoilers, like every good slasher movie, when you think it's all over, there's one final death.
Yep.
That, and this was really fun. But,
yeah, and then the very last tag at the end where it's like, oh, it's not over.
It's not over. Yeah, it has all the same beats as any other horror movie, but it's just a really interesting and original premise. Mm-hmm. Which I guess,
I don't know if he had a specific... I mean, he definitely had a specific bone to pick. Was Don Gilroy is his name, I think?
I think so. I'm so excited to see more of his work.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody's seen the video that's been shared around where it's the cast interview for Velvet Buzzsaw, and the Gilroy, the director, is describing somebody, and he's saying he described it as being melancholic, I think. And they all like laugh and have to like patiently correct him, like it's melancholic.
That's great. I didn't know. I didn't see that. Oh yeah, that's wonderful.
I've seen it on Twitter like several times now.
Well, he's not a wordsmith. He's directing.
No, that just means he's read the word but not heard it spoken out loud.
Yeah. Just saying. Yeah. I'm defending him.
Sure. We had a solid cameo by Mr. X.
Wait, who's Mr. X?
Mr. X from X-Files.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's the guy. He's the guy that the artist worked with. Remember the janitor he goes to talk to?
Oh yeah, that is Mr. X. Holy shit!
I'm 95% sure.
I think so. I'm gonna have to double check.
Yeah.
Because that guy seemed. I don't know. I was at that point. I was just so in it. I wasn't noticing things. So the main plot is what's her name?
Josephine is in a lot of trouble. And
is she? I guess her job's in trouble.
Yeah, we hear that she's been habitually late, and Rene Russo rebukes her pretty strongly, and basically she's on like final notice, so she's like kind of desperate, and she's leaving her apartment one morning, and she notices a cane on the floor, and then looks up and sees that her upstairs neighbor has died, and it turns out he was this incredible artist that was a total shut-in, and his apartment is just loaded with, I think they say, over 1,000 paintings.
Yeah. I was really happy they didn't dwell too much on, because my first fear was that she was going to take credit for the paintings, or it was going to be, because that was that movie, A Murder of Crows, if you remember, is based around that.
I don't.
That's
remember that.
Cuba Gooding Jr. has a man who dies, and he takes the guy's book and takes credit for it, and then the murders in the book turn out to have been true.
I do remember that.
It gets so much dumber than that. Like prosthetic makeup is involved.
Perfect.
But
perfect.
My point was, I thought we were gonna start tying into something where she has to keep the secret, and I was really happy. Like pretty much right away, she's like tells her boss where she got this art. and they're just like, oh, okay, just lie and say you found it in the trash.
Right, yeah, they have a scene with a team of lawyers that tell her exactly what she needs to say so that they can claim the paintings and sell them. It's very cynical.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
But the paintings are like, I think we talked about this when we talked about it on Hypecast, but like the paintings themselves are intense, but they're not like obviously haunted.
No, that's what makes them good. They're haunting, but not. This is, I mean, we've talked about this so many times. They're not like creepy. It's not like in
Annabelle.
The Conjuring, or like Conjuring when he makes that nun painting. And it's like, well, that's just made to be scary.
Right. That's
like,
a terrifying thing that you would never hang up in your house.
Yeah, they're not overtly creepy. They're subtly creepy. And then they change in really creepy ways. Mm-hmm. The picture where they don't have eyes with the boy and the girl.
They fade
and
in.
the eyes slowly fade in. Oh, that was great.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good ones.
Yeah. And they also make them good enough where you could see the art world kind of getting into them.
Yeah,
and that's basically what happens.
Right. You can absolutely see that they're just these super intense paintings.
Yeah. Yeah, like if I saw one of these paintings for sale, I would buy it. I'd be like, "Oh, that painting is so weird and haunting and very pretty."
Yeah, they're all pretty metal in like a weird way.
Yeah,
like with the two little kids playing in the desert in front of the sun that's reflected in the ground. Like there's nothing obviously creepy about it, but like the longer you look at it, it's like this is just wrong. Like it feels like there's a sickness oozing out of it.
I'm curious to know who actually made the paintings for the film. I'm gonna have to look that up after this
for sure. So everybody goes apeshit over these paintings,
and then. I mean, slowly, I'm wondering if, like, the mental state of the characters also change?
I think, because, well, I mean, Gyllenhaal's definitely does.
Gyllenhaal starts seeing things, and he gets more manic. He starts hearing things.
Yeah, I think it's I think it maybe has to do with your proximity to it.
Yeah.
Like, because they go apeshit over the paintings. They stage this huge showing at Rene Russo's gallery, and the two artists, Malkovich and David Diggs, see one of the paintings and are just like immediately both leave. Like they're like, we got to get out of here. Like we can't.
Yeah. Oh,
like, we can't look at this.
Yeah, the way they handle the paintings is so much different than the other people. Is like they immediately know something's wrong.
They leave, and while the others covet them.
Right. Malkovich, the whole thing is it's like, oh, he needs to start drinking again. Like his art was better when he wasn't sober, and he immediately starts drinking.
Yeah. He just like doesn't even. He just reaches over and grabs a whiskey from the tray and just drinks it without even taking his eyes off the painting. It's perfect. It's a great shot.
Breaks his sobriety. It's just a great. Yeah, it's also a great way of a really quick and easy way to show the significance of the painting of like, okay, this person's been sober for a while. They look at the painting, they instantly, without even thinking about it, get a drink.
Yeah.
It's great. And the other guy seems more like he keeps staring at it later. He's staring at one. He seems like obsessed with it, but it's doing something to them that's like almost more healthy than what it's doing to the other people.
Yeah,
it's not trying to kill them.
Yeah, I think I think that is related to the movie's theme, where they're actually creators.
Yeah,
like they're not just poaching.
Yeah, basically the art, it punishes the wicked essentially, wicked in the sense of this amount of these shallow people and the way they treat the art.
It punishes them with a particular type of art.
Yes,
for each one.
Yes, we should note that art is the killer, which again, that's what makes us so unique. Is the bad guy is art,
right? And it's not even the haunted paintings themselves. Like none of the haunted paintings actually kill anyone.
Yeah, the paintings don't. That confused me at first because the first death, I was like, wait, is that one of the paintings?
No,
no, it's not.
It's very pointedly not.
Yeah.
It's it's the chode, Bryson is driving a load of these, and he becomes obsessed with them too. And I think it's because
he like steals he goes to
he steals a few. He also tries to lie. He's constantly trying to tell people that he really is an artist, like when he's trying to hit on Coco.
Right.
So he's like, he steals some of the art. He's like a guy that wants to be a creative, but just wants the status of it. He doesn't actually have any talent.
Yeah, that's the most relatable. By the way, there's a level, because the first time I came to Los Angeles, I don't want to go into personal details, but I had like someone that was in this sort of world, and it was just it was so phony, and it was a lot. It was a lot of people.
Yeah,
like people who claimed to be artists, but were more obsessed about what they were going to look like at the gallery than what their actual art was going to be at the gallery. Stuff like that.
Oh, that's a point. That's even a point this movie makes.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Remember when Gyllenhaal and Josephine are at her apartment or whatever, and she's like, "It's going to take me 3 hours to get ready," and he's like, "It's just I can't even remember what he said it was."
Yeah, but she's like, "I want to. It's our first night out just together or something."
Yeah, it's just a fundraiser, and she's like, "Yeah, but I've got to,
Right. It reminds me of the Banksy film "Exit Through the Gift Shop." Touches upon this stuff too. Which is like pop art. It's like no thought into how it's getting made, and it's all about the image around it. Anyway, sorry, I derailed us a little bit. We were talking about douche guys.
About douche canoe. He very pointedly he supernaturally catches fire and crashes his car.
He sure does,
and very pointedly gets killed by the equivalent of the dogs playing poker painting.
Yeah.
And that is very purposeful.
A bunch of monkeys working on a car, which
monkey wrench.
I wanted that painting.
It's just like a cute. It was an example of like cute bad art that you just buy at a kiosk in the mall.
Yeah.
And of course this guy gets destroyed by it. Like that.
He gets like dragged in the painting.
He gets dragged into the painting. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the first death is one where they don't know it's a death yet. They just think he went missing.
Yeah.
And a plot point is that they find the car that he crashed ransacked, and there's nothing in it.
All the paintings are gone.
All the paintings are gone. Yeah, that's the first one. He sees the image in the back seat, that was the most the paintings do in terms of manifesting anything. He sees like the image, a person from one of the paintings in the back seat.
It's the artist.
He crashes. Oh, is that the artist?
Yeah, you see him again. And this we forgot about this character, John Dondon, the French or Italian guy. When he gets killed at the installation that he really didn't give a shit about. Is that
the one where he gets hung?
He gets one where he gets hung. Yeah.
Yeah.
You see the artist on the projector.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. But that's like, I guess him seeing it in the mirror is the only time it like manifests. Because I thought that was from a self-portrait or something. Maybe I'm wrong.
It might have been from the self-portrait. I mean, I don't know. I assumed it was the guy actually manifesting in the back.
Right. Yeah, it might have been.
We do see the self-portrait that does. Its eyes do shift over to watch Josephine as she's rooting through his apartment in the beginning, which was a nice, like it's a slow build to how creepy the paintings get. Oh man. Yeah. So that character John Dondon is like another clueless type who doesn't even have any understanding of what art is. Like when he goes over to Malkovich's studio, you remember he thinks the pile of trash bags is the art.
That was so good. That was so perfect. There's a lot of they're playing off of a lot of those news stories where like someone will take like a pair of sunglasses and put them on the ground in an art like gallery, and people will start taking pictures of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely that here. That was great. And then oh man, there was a few parts where he goes when he's first downstairs. He's like, "This is where the magic happens," and it's like the manufacturing. Like he just keeps saying and doing the wrong thing. Yeah, every time.
Such a because he's it's the part of his studio where like he just has a team of people producing like his reproductions and stuff.
Yeah,
so it's like it's the equivalent of all of the people that do all the Garfield merchandise for Jim Davis.
Yeah.
Like it's like this is where the magic happens.
He's like, "Are you joking?"
Yeah, it's like,
Oh, Malkovich.
oh yeah, only he delivers it pure Malkovich. So
What is it with Malkovich and he plays people with alcohol issues in like he did in Burn After Reading, he did in Bird Box, and in this. Like, and I kind of want to see how many others. That's like, is he typecast?
maybe
I mean, I can't. It's hard to say that Malkovich is typecast because he's Malkovich.
right. Yeah,
He's typecast as Malkovich.
pretty much.
Whenever you need Malkovich.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's just a weird
that
pattern I've been
Malkovich up
noticing.
in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, his death. That guy gets fucking dragged up and hung. See, that was these are the deaths aren't. The deaths were like maybe the least creepy parts.
Yeah, I think that's right. It was more the build up and the aftermath that were creepy.
Yeah, the actual moments like that are like, I don't know if he did it on purpose, but it just doesn't feel like a horror movie most of the time. It feels like a regular movie with like horrific things that happen in it.
Yeah.
Like it's more fantasy or sci-fi. And like you said, satire.
Yeah, it's you're right. It's like a Twilight Zone episode.
Yeah. Which I'm not against.
No, certainly not. It's a fucking sweet movie.
So was that guy the second death?
Yeah. He was.
Okay. And then
yeah.
we're missing out a lot of the relationship stuff, which is important, but
that's true. Yeah. Basically,
It's not the main
everybody is
through line.
leeching off of everybody else is the main point.
yeah, pretty much.
Gyllenhaal
No one
and Rene
seems to
Russo.
like each other very much.
Yeah. Gyllenhaal and Rene Russo are supposed to. You get the sense that they've been friends for a long time, and they just have a very simpatico relationship. And then at the end of the film, you find out that Gyllenhaal's his boyfriend until very recently, like he breaks up with him in the first act of the movie, had basically just been peeking over Gyllenhaal's shoulder at his reviews and then telling Rene Russo what pieces he liked, so she would go out and buy them.
Right.
Before
he was on the payroll.
Yeah. So even that relationship that seemed like the most pure and the most genuine in the movie was still like leech worthy, because he's the last one to figure it out too, because there's two different people in the film who sort of approach three different people actually who sort of approach him like, what the hell did you write that bad review for? You screwed us over. Like you have he writes a bad review intentionally for Josephine's ex-boyfriend's art show,
Right.
because the very first scene we meet Josephine in, she's learning that her boyfriend is who is an artist is cheating on her.
Right. There's a lot of. Does she learn that from
Coco.
Coco? Oh, she learns it from Coco. Oh, right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot of that of people like kind of, it's not gossip because it's people are cheating on each other,
But it is.
there's a lot of he said, she
is gossip,
said.
though. It's like,
Yeah, it is.
Like
It's
between like
people like
Gyllenhaal
can't-
and Toni Collette. It's all these terrible people just
Right.
being bitchy gossips behind each other's backs.
I mean, the perfect part is when Gyllenhaal's at the funeral and he's criticizing the aesthetic.
Yeah, he criticizes
that was so
the
good.
casket, and then he says, what does he say? Should we just abandon taste and substance? Should we whisper the truth? And it's like, you're at a fucking funeral, you dick. And that's
so good.
Like right after he says that is when another guy walks up, who we briefly met in the first gallery scene, comes up and is like, what did you write that piece for? You totally tanked our deal. And he's like, I'm not your mouthpiece. So it's
Right.
like everybody else knows that that Rene Russo is like using his reviews to boost her sales, except for him. Like he's clueless about it. And like Toni Collette
man.
also asks him to like boost her sales, and he's like offended by it because he has no idea. It's very Toni Collette's so great too. We haven't talked about her.
Oh
yet.
man.
She's the perfect, like, she's such an asshole. It's so great.
Oh yeah, when the gallery, when she quits the gallery and she starts working for a private
Right.
buyer.
Mm-hmm.
And then she becomes like a even bigger asshole.
Yeah, she turns right back around. It's whatever that main art museum is right by the tar pits in L.A. with the crazy looking building. I can't remember what it's called.
I think it's Los Angeles Museum of Art.
Oh well,
on the outside it said LAMA, I believe. So
yeah.
I'm gonna assume that's what that stands for.
But yeah, she like goes into business for herself, working with a private collector, and then goes right back into the museum and basically. Not blackmails, but like really strong arms them into doing a gallery of her client's pieces
of the spooky.
Of
the spooky artist and her gallery Sphere, which we haven't talked about either.
Oh yeah,
the Sphere, which
Sphere is pretty funny. In and of itself.
That was pretty funny.
It's just a big metal ball with holes that you stick. It's the once there was a witch who died, and this is her hair, and this is her brains. It's that. It's like a children's museum
right, you stick
exhibit.
your arm into it. Yeah.
Yeah, you stick your arm into one of the holes, and like it gives you a different sensation. I think the intent behind it was that it's just this. It's this meaningless. It's just a silver ball, and like. It's like I said, it's the equivalent of that Halloween game. It's a children's museum exhibit, and then we find out that like she got like Toni Collette sold it for like $4 million.
Yeah,
and then she's like, "Yeah, go ahead."
Oh, it does remind me. I mean, it reminds me of a spoof of a lot of modern art that's way better, which is like something that's interactive or like surreal.
Yeah,
like there was in Massachusetts. There's a place called Mass Mocha that's a gallery, a museum of art that'll have these exhibits that'll take up the entire room, and like it seems silly at first, and then you walk in it and you experience it and you're like, oh, this is really fucking cool. And so like there's like the robot guy that gets introduced at the beginning, which we haven't even talked about.
Yeah, so,
there's stuff.
Hobo Man, is that what his name is?
Hobo Man,
Super
I think,
Hobo?
Or it's Hobo Bot, or which is like supposed to be a robot of a broken down robot who's injured, who needs work,
and he's wearing like an Uncle Sam, tattered Uncle Sam costume,
which again is a perfect spoof of that type of art. But like, I don't like there is good versions of that type of art, but what this movie is doing is it's showing like the worst versions a lot of the time.
It's all just vapid, like vacuous bullshit.
Yeah.
It's so...
and that Sphere, the one thing I thought about that Sphere was I feel like some producer of this movie, one of the first conversations they must have had, or the director must have realized, is like, do we need the Sphere? Because that Sphere must have sucked to film because it's completely reflective. So like that's a visual effect. Every single time we see that Sphere, it's a visual effect.
That's a good point.
Which must have been a real pain in the ass.
I mean, it's kind of important.
Yeah, well, it makes for a great fucking scene.
Yeah, and it's Bryson is eaten by the dogs playing poker equivalent.
Yeah.
Don Don is killed by this installation that he doesn't understand at all, and then just bought. Toni Collette gets killed by the Sphere, and it's this dumb piece of art that she convinced somebody to spend $4 million on, and then turned around and forced her museum her old museum to exhibit it.
And then
it represents like, it's like, I don't want to say it's her albatross because that's not really the right word, but it represents like just her cynical disdain, I guess.
Right.
And she sticks her arm in it and gets buzzsawed off in spectacular fashion.
Yeah, it's a great moment because she has her arm stuck in, and then she's at first like just trying to get out, and then she starts screaming, and then blood starts spraying from the other holes.
Yep. It reminded me of...
It's like, oh, shit.
Yeah, it reminded me of Phantasm.
Oh, yeah. And then the best part, because I saw this in the trailer, but they did a really good job at making this horrific, was that she loses her arm and then dies and bleeds out next to the Sphere, and then she was the last one before they closed up the night before, so the gallery opens the next day and everybody just assumes she's part of the art. And what made that great was like, that's a funny punchline.
Yeah.
And then because it's being explained, who's explaining it? Jake Gyllenhaal?
Josephine.
Josephine's explaining it, I think, to Gyllenhaal, right?
No, to Rene Russo.
Okay. And then she's like, and apparently then some school children came in and they started playing with the blood.
Yeah. They're just stamping around in the blood.
Good. And it's like, that's so creepy and funny at the same time.
And then, of course, Josephine adds on to the end of it that, like, we couldn't... The evil dead artist is named Dees, which is funny.
Yeah.
It's like, but we couldn't shut down the Dees exhibit. Everybody is going apeshit over it.
Full name is Dees Nuts for the artist. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and everybody loves it.
Yeah. So she like had to add
and of
that
course
in there.
They also didn't know the only when they realized something was wrong was when of course Coco showed up.
Yeah.
And found her bots dead.
Found the second. Yeah, that's right. She finds Don hanging from the ceiling.
Yeah.
And then she finds armless Tony Collette.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's a rough week for Coco.
She has a bad week. So about this time, this is about when Jake Gyllenhaal starts realizing there's something wrong with these paintings, right? He's been going into he's trying to write a book, which I thought was a really good way to get exposition.
Yeah.
Is him like, I want the full book rights. And so he's researching it. Mm-hmm. And they're doing stuff where they're like trying to figure, they brought in like a woman to like figure out what the paintings are, made of. Trying to catalog it all. And
she's like art restoration and cataloging. Yeah.
And then he's looking into the backstory of this guy who's apparently criminally insane, killed his own father.
Probably killed his mom, too, because it says their house was burned up by his mom and his sister. It says his house was burned down in a mysterious fire, and then he was in his dad's custody, and then apparently his dad abused him. And he killed his dad and burned him alive.
And right around this time, do we also learn that the paintings are painted with blood?
They sure are, but they tell you that in the trailer.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a bummer.
Yeah, I mean, that wasn't a big surprise. There had to be something wrong with the paintings.
Right.
I like that they never really get into the mythology past that.
Yeah, they don't bother to try to explain it. It is just what it is.
There's nothing to explain. Yeah. So yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal starts realizing something's wrong.
Yeah.
There's more love triangle stuff. And then who goes first? I feel like they go at the same time. The next two.
Oh,
people who die.
It's Josephine and Gyllenhaal.
Yep. Gyllenhaal gets murdered by a robot.
It's his neck snapped by Hobobot, which is fitting for him because Hobobot's a puppet. That it's like one of the first pieces Gyllenhaal comments on in the movie, and he's just like, it's an iteration. It's just a restatement of their earlier piece, and it's pretty much like
it's the first scene with him is him insulting the Hobobot.
Yes.
And then we later learned it was put in storage.
Yeah.
And no one... And then, of course, he goes to his storage to put the paintings away.
To shove all of his D's paintings. His D's Nuts paintings and his D's Nuts notes.
Yeah, and then sure enough, there's the fucking robot.
Yeah, the Hobobot. So yeah, he gets basically... Yeah, he gets killed by cheap, goofy art that was also a puppet like he was... It's very fitting.
It's very fitting. And then Josephine is at a bar with her new boyfriend, the artist who's decided to leave Rene Russo?
David Diggs, yeah. What happens is they're in Josephine's apartment, and he's looking at one of the D's paintings, and he sees the smoke the fire start to move in it, and he's like, if you watch this painting, it starts to move. And she's like, you need to stop looking at that painting. And then he's kind of like, I gotta go. Something came up.
Yeah.
And then he takes her to this bar on the other side, a kind of dive bar, and he's like, so I'm gonna start showing my paintings with my collective buddies again. I'm not going back in your studio ever again.
Yeah, it was a solid idea.
Yeah. And then she dunks on him for being like, she's like, what, are you gonna hang around here and just do graffiti and street art? Like what?
Right.
What's the point of art if nobody sees it? And then she gets killed by graffiti.
Yeah, she sure does. This was the least horror-like moment, and I thought one of the coolest moments.
I thought this was the best one.
Well, all right. I guess the actual death didn't scare me, but then the aftermath was freaky.
Right, when they zoom in on the tow truck comes and picks her car up, and then it zooms in on the graffiti, and you can barely see her outline in the graffiti. Yeah.
That was great. But
It's awesome.
essentially she gets lured into an art gallery with a bunch of graffiti art. Which is essentially like what he's avoiding. Like what he doesn't want to happen is basically this graffiti art being displayed this way. And she makes a phone call, and the graffiti starts slowly leaking off, which I thought was really cool. Behind her. And then it all flows to her, and it starts engulfing her body. Which again I thought was really neat. I thought it was the least horror-like death. It was very sci-fi seeming.
Yeah. And then of course the aftermath was just like.
Yeah, and the aftermath was the creepiest part. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that's nearing the end.
Pretty much.
Again, it's like a horror movie where people are slowly figuring it out, but they're dying before when it's too late.
Rene Russo has guys come and take every piece of art out of her apartment, out of her
house, which was a
rather.
Smart move. Very smart.
Yeah.
She's almost killed by the art outside her house chasing her cat. That's what's happening. Well, she's talking to Josephine.
Yep.
Who dies. Yeah. So she figures it out because Jake Gyllenhaal also came to her and like laid it all out.
Yeah,
he's the only one who figures it out the most. And
save him from Hobo Man.
Yeah. He was almost out. He was almost
out. Yeah.
So Rene Russo has all the art taken out, and then she's sitting there, and then the camera.
She's the night before when Gyllenhaal and Josephine die, and she's on the phone with Josephine while Josephine is about to get killed. She's staring at this gigantic canvas in her bedroom, which is an image of a woman sitting next to a cat, and there's two shadows looming in front of them that look like people approaching.
Oh yeah.
So she takes that off the wall and puts it down, and that's when she notices the cat's outside and goes outside and almost gets killed by a falling piece of modern art.
Yeah.
She's sitting out there on her patio after the guys have collected all of her art, and then the shot becomes the painting. She's sitting there, her cat's sitting next to her, and these two cacti are throwing the silhouettes down on the ground. Which was
really cool.
Yeah.
And that's when you slowly realize, like, I had been so distracted at this point, because like I was so distracted that I forgot the question of like, why is this movie called Velvet Buzzsaw? And like what was the significance of her punk rock days? And the camera slowly like makes you remember the fucking tattoo on her back.
She's got a buzzsaw on the back of her neck, and it fires up.
Yeah.
starts
shooting
blood everywhere. Oh my god! I think the title.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
I mean, the title isn't necessarily that, or just that, but that was. It's a perfect title, just on that alone, especially for that ending.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Oh, the title I do think means a lot of things.
Yes, I think so. As best as my dummy monkeys working on a car painting mind can figure out, it definitely refers to like punk rock was the last time that Rene Russo's character actually cared about being creative.
Yeah, exactly.
When she left that band, that was like the death of that for her. That's when she became like a cynical vulture.
Yeah. And so it's so fitting that that's the thing that fucking kills her at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And then it's also like it's
so perfect.
It's just like evocative of like art that kills. Like a Velvet Buzzsaw. Yeah, it's. I'm sure there's more.
I wonder if that was the original title, and then when they were looking, like when they were, you know, in the post-production stages, they realized like how perfect that title says it all. Because I can see this being a movie that was tough to put a title on. And I could see maybe not. Maybe it was, maybe they figured it out right away while writing it.
Maybe.
It's just it is a perfect title.
Yeah, I think
because it's also just, you see a movie called Velvet Buzzsaw, you stop on that movie, from a marketing perspective, it's a great fucking title.
Yeah.
And then in terms of just what the movie is, it's I don't know, it's great.
Yeah. I suspect it was probably in the first drafts, just because like the director's previous movie Nightcrawler, that title's kind of the same in that it means
that's
a whole
true.
lot of things.
Right, you're right, and it's like not directly. It doesn't seem like it's directly related to the plot at first.
Yeah.
Although Nightcrawler is definitely an easier.
Right.
Like, you watching that movie, you're like, oh yeah, I know why this is called Nightcrawler.
And it's not as exciting a title as Velvet Buzzsaw.
Yeah. I don't know, but they're both they're
both good titles. Yeah.
very compelling titles. And the last scene is, of course, Coco fucking off to the airport.
Go to the airport.
Because her final they show her finding Jake Gyllenhaal, because they keep setting it up, and that was when I should have realized Jake Gyllenhaal was going to die, when he was like, all right, I need you to go to my store. He hires Coco like really quickly, and he's like, go to my storage tomorrow, you need to catalog everything, and then he goes to his storage and dies, and of course they then show poor Coco going into the fucking storage to see his fucking twisted head body.
Yeah. Which we never see.
No, we never see. We didn't need to see.
No.
So yeah, she's going to the airport because her last 3 employers died horribly. And the last thing we see is her car drive by like a homeless camp on the side of the road, and they're selling the missing paintings from the first death.
Yep,
on the
all
street.
The paintings they stole from Douche Canoe.
Yeah,
which
was a fitting ending.
Yeah, because it's like, and we see a couple walk up and buy them, and then the guy immediately replaces it with another one because, like we said, there's like over 1,000 paintings that they were gonna store. I had another thought actually about Gyllenhaal's character and his death, because like Gyllenhaal, like he's gay but he's not.
He's bi.
Yeah, that's...
Oh, no, but you do get the impression, though, that when he first hooks up with Josephine, that he's a gay man who's...
Yeah, and then they're
like, interested in a woman for the first time.
Right, and in their love scene, they sort of imply that, like, he wants her to be in a certain position, and he doesn't want to have
right,
his
and
eyes
she's
open.
like, look at... Yeah.
Like, he's like... You can see that he's, like, kind of trying to force it.
Right.
And I think that's, like, his character... Like we said, he's only ever comments on the superficiality of things. So like his character is a put on, like it's a synthetic, if you will.
Ooh.
Like the robot.
Ooh.
So yeah, I just had like and his name is Morph, which suggests metamorphosis. So he's like in a suspended stage of change. So he's like I think at one point he says to Josephine, "You make me confused."
Right.
And I think
he does.
That's kind of his character, because he also is like, when he's telling Rene Russo, he's like shouting at her like, I don't believe in childlike fantasies, but he has such a great way of speaking in this movie.
he really does. He's fucking fantastic.
Yeah, he's so good.
I mean, everybody's fantastic.
Everybody's great. Yeah.
Because they're really. It's like, it's one of those things where it's almost parodying, but not quite, because it is, again, it's people that I'm like, oh, I sort of know these people, and it makes them great victims for a horror movie.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're all fucking trash.
Yeah.
Except for David Diggs and Malkovich.
And Coco.
And Coco.
Oh yeah, and the ending credits. We should probably note the ending credits.
The ending credits is
which
Malkovich.
I could have watched hours of.
It's Malkovich at Rene Russo's beach house, just drawing circles in the sand. just
having a grand old time.
And it gradually zooms out, and he's just drawn like a whole field of circles.
Yeah.
Just spirals in the sand with a stick. He's just having a blast.
That was great, because I think that's, they're almost showing like the opposite of everything, where it's like, and here's a man who just enjoys making art.
He just, it's what makes him happy.
Making something for himself in the sand,
Yep.
So there's like it's weird because this movie isn't mean spirited.
It never tells you that anybody's like evil or that you should hate a certain character.
Right, and none of them. That's the thing. None of them are like, I would say, evil.
No, they're just
they're
douches.
they're all just this kind of jerks.
Yeah.
And so you sympathize, like you know, like it's that I think that's enough for like Josephine, for example. Like she's I like people like her was like you can sympathize with them because they're just really trying to get a career, or like Coco is the perfect example of the innocent side, where she's just this young girl who just really wants to fucking make it in L.A.
And she has she even has that one meeting with John Don where he doesn't even like she's got an interview with him and he just walks past her and says, "Yep, you're too young, get out."
Yeah, it was perfect.
What?
Because it was really showing like every aspect of this industry where everybody's very passionate, but everybody's just like also very terrified and protective and territorial, and like everybody's just bound up in this world that's about something that's supposed to be like the opposite of that. It's art, you know? And that ending of just Malkovich, just enjoying himself, going back to it.
Joyously drawing things in the sand.
Oh, so good.
Yeah. It's really great. This is a really good movie.
Yeah, I really like this movie. I think a lot of people who don't like horror movies, like I'm immediately thinking of like Star.
Oh yeah,
who is not a horror fan. I feel like those people can enjoy this movie.
Well, she might even more because she's kind of in the art world.
Oh yeah, for sure. But it's in terms of like a horror movie, it doesn't go for jump scares. There's a couple moments that are jump scary, but they don't like blast a sound at you, or they're not trying to stress you out necessarily.
Yeah, it's never I mean there's some creepiness, but it's never like
there's creepiness for sure. There's some nightmare inducing imagery.
Oh yeah. For sure.
Depending on who you are. But overall it's not like your typical horror movie tone.
No, not at all. And I am here for this shit. Haunted paintings are extremely my shit.
Oh yeah, fucking haunted paintings. There's not
haunted
enough
paintings,
of that,
bro. I know.
One of the first things that freaked me out as a kid was the TV movie of It, where the picture of Georgie
Wink, that fucked me up for years.
Yeah, that fucked me up too. And like, there's something. It's weird because
the little girl that gets banished into the painting and the witches fucked me up.
Yeah, because I don't know what it is because It's kind of like Creepy Dolls, where it's like when you think about it logically, there's nothing scary about a painting, but I don't know what it is. It applies like in The Witches, it's almost like purgatory. There's something like
imagining her
hellish
trapped
about
in there.
It. Yeah. Oh, God, yeah. This is a hell of a film.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's it.
Yeah,
that's a so.
Yeah. Geez, guys, thanks for listening to us.
Yeah, go watch Velvet Buzzsaw.
Go watch
Netflix.
Velvet Buzzsaw. It really makes up for Aya, which I can't stress enough is just a boring movie.
Don't watch that movie. Ever.
Yeah. Don't watch that.
Don't do that.
Watch Velvet Buzzsaw.
Yeah, do that instead. That's a good thing you can do.
I want to watch this movie again. Already.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Well, all right, everyone. That's thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. You should check out our Patreon at patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. We have exclusive podcasts for our subscribers. Podcasts like Fox Mulder is a Maniac.
Yeah.
And Tom and Jeff Watch Batman.
That one as well.
Yeah. Real good stuff, you guys.
And check out our store, tpublic.com/stores/gamefullyunemployed. We're going to put some, I think, new Mulder stuff up there, maybe? Is it?
Yeah, at some point, yeah.
Yeah, is it all right?
We're going to do it.
We're working on it.
We also Twitch on
Yeah, we Twitch.
twitch.tv/whatever/gamefully_unemployed. Watch us play games.
Do it. All
yeah,
right.
this is all good stuff.
Yeah. Well, thanks, everyone.
All things for you to do. Thanks, guys.